All right. I'm gonna call the meeting to order officially. Um, let's jump into the
Let's go
president
straight to your report.
report. Yep. Okay. So here's my report. We are 2 out of 3 of our fall virtual sessions checked. It's been really great, or at least I think so. We had Marty Bowles for our first session. That was lovely, talking about um, working within our scope. And then Kevin Budd talked about suicidality appearing within different settings and the music application within that. We made the decision to switch to the Zoom platform for our virtual meetings as well as our virtual sessions, purely due to like accessibility. More folks know how to use Zoom, more folks have Zoom, and there's less parameters around the different tools that we can use. And yeah, I've been helping assist with getting the membership records all organized, reaching out for renewals, kind of helping assist with the secretary and treasurer roles, and I have been overseeing our board meetings. So that is my brief report. I'm gonna turn the time over to Emily.
Okay. Um, so some highlights of what I've been focusing my time on in the last 6 or so months. It feels like a long time ago, but we went to Ramta. And I put that on here just because specifically the business meeting was really insightful to me on getting some guidance on how UAMT should be conducting our official business, like right now. It was just very good to have that model at Ramta. It was my first time going to their business meeting, and so it was just very insightful. I've been heading off the revisions to the bylaws, and I want to just say thank you, Emma, for taking over with the conference stuff, because it's been super helpful for you to, for her to focus on that. So that's it for me.
My
And we will go
pleasure.
to Amanda.
I'm going to turn my video on here. I have not been on very much. I had some health stuff go on, but our current total income for the year is $4,000 and some change. And then our expenditures, you can see the numbers. I'm not going to go over them. Our biggest announcement is that we are getting ready to send out grant applications. They will be on the website. We will send out an email, probably by Friday. We are going to open up for 2 clinical internship, and then we have professional development and new professional grants as well. And we will be probably announcing some changes or voting on some changes for the amount of those.
Ashlyn says we have now hit our quorum. Hello, Heather. Thanks for
Welcome,
joining us.
Heather.
Okay, Ashlyn, it's your turn.
Okay, our current amount of members we have is 66 members. Oh, this is weird.
This is where I was confused because I was like, if we need a quorum, we have like 50%. Because, right, if we only have 25 professional members, but I don't think that's correct.
I don't think
it's
those numbers are
the other
accurate.
way. I think it's the other way around.
No, we definitely have 41 student members,
Okay.
but I guess I was looking at the wrong sheet. We have 42 professional members, which means we have 83 current UAMT members, which is a
Great.
lot. Good
That's
work.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashlyn, for your quick report. Anakia, are you here with us?
Yes. So I've just been posting on social media. And obviously the more engagement that you interact with on social media, the algorithm will show you more of what we're doing. So if you want to see what we're doing, interact more, like the posts or videos or stories that you see and interact, and then you'll see them more. But it's been going great.
I do have a
Awesome.
question about that.
Yes.
So who is actually in charge of the Facebook page for UAMT?
Is it the Utah Music Therapy Group or is it the Utah Association page?
Maybe maybe both. I'm just curious about both of those, like having tried to post something a few months ago, and it just didn't, it sat there for a long time before it, so I thought, whose job is that?
Yeah, so that's actually not connected with the association at all.
Neither one is, neither of them are.
The one that says Utah Association of Music Therapists, that's an outward public facing page, is managed by Anakia. But the Utah Music Therapy Group is kind of an informal group that's been put together. And Emily and myself are what's the word? Not moderators.
Admins.
Admins, yes, thank you.
Mhm.
And we had a post approval thing going on for a bit there, but that is no longer the case. So people can just post now.
Yeah.
I have been trying to get rid of my admin role for a really long time. I've been admin of that group for like 5 years. And I have made posts being like, anyone else want to be admin? So, yeah. And I don't even use Facebook anymore. So it's kind of fallen into Emily Salisbury's lap. But yeah, maybe it's time that I post again on that group and just say, someone please take this over, because it is.
Yeah, it just kind of happens that, sorry, it just kind of happens that Emma and I are the admins right now for that group, but it's not necessarily UAMT affiliated, like she mentioned. And if anyone here wants to be an admin for that group, we welcome. Anyway,
someone who
I'm
uses Facebook.
I haven't been on Facebook very much either, and that's where the problem is because the two admins that were supposed to be doing that page weren't taking care of the page, so apologies.
Yes.
No,
but
no
also also the requirement to have posts approved before showing is now gone, so moving forward you should be able to just post freely without having to wait for somebody else, I guess.
Cool. And that,
Yeah.
just to clarify, that's on both of those pages, or?
So that's just on the Utah group, and then on the Utah Association of Music Therapists, no one else posts except the UAMT group, because that's like our association's page. Like nothing else can get posted on there. But if you do need something sent out, let us know and we can help get it on like our Slack page and other things as well.
Perfect. Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for your question. Unfortunately, Sarah cannot be with us this evening. Sending her well wishes. But Sarah has been an amazing addition to our team. She's really helped launch our new Squarespace site and really worked a lot in our new members only area, which will be coming very soon. And we also were able to launch the membership enrollment, which has renewing payment cycle. So that's quite nice. But yeah, Sarah's done a lot of great things. Does anyone else have anything else they want to add in for Sarah's report?
Yeah, just to clarify what's going to be happening, next steps with the with membership, because there is basically we're building up some content for members behind a paywall. But the problem with that right now is that because we've just been purchasing or having people purchase memberships through the store, it doesn't unlock that content. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now, where a lot of our members don't have access to that content. Now, there's not a whole lot of content right now, so don't feel like you're missing out on a whole lot. But just know that the next time that your membership comes up for renewal, we'll be inviting you to purchase it through another avenue so that that content is opened up to you. Does that make sense?
We're also working on a potential like coupon code or option. We're still kind of workshopping it, where folks who recently renewed can still get into that membership only site so that they don't have to wait a whole year to be able to access that. So more information coming on that. Yeah, we just talked about that last week. So yeah. Corinne.
I don't have too much more to add to what Emma has already shared. Just a reminder that we have one more conference on November 7th, and a reminder that if you paid for attendance to the session, you have 30 days to view and then complete your evaluation. We're coming up on that first one needing to be submitted here this weekend, and then in the next week or two, the second session will have to be submitted. So if you haven't done your evaluations, get those done so that you can get your certificate.
Great, thank you. Just responding to some of those messages of I can't make it. Perfect. Okay, Tirza.
Hello, I'm sorry, my camera is awful right now, so
That
I'm gonna
is
keep my
okay.
camera off right now. Well, I've really loved doing interviews for our podcast. And we have two so far, one with Karen Carter and one with Beth Hardy. Can you just give me either a raise a hand or a thumbs up if you at least saw the email about and like knew about the episodes that were coming out or have listened to them? Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up, Corinne. Yeah, so more coming on that. I'm going to be doing an interview with Jennifer Burchell and then Tessa Buck later on this year. So I'm excited about that. Trying to focus on topics that will be helpful for everyone, regardless of professional experience and even for the students as well. So for the next interview or so, I might be focusing a little bit more on helpful topics for professionals, like counseling, supervision techniques and building programs and development that way. So yeah, just keep looking out for those, and we'll try to do better at sending out like multiple emails or getting those out on social media. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Tirza. All right. Emily is here with us. No need to hop on if you don't want to, but no updates at this time. We appreciate your participation on the board. Your wisdom is very much appreciated. So thank you so much for being on the board. And Mallory.
Hello. Okay, like I mentioned a little earlier, we for those who didn't hear, we now have a deal where you can get a discounted membership fee for UAMTSA if you're a UAMT member. And so we've got a lot more student UAMT members, which is awesome. Just some updates on what we've been doing. Our community outreach person this year is really awesome. So we've done just some like Utah State events, like Day on the Quad and World Mental Health Day. Day on the Quad is just a bunch of clubs are out on our quad and you can come see. So we had a lot of we don't often have a lot of non-majors join our club, but we have a lot of them like follow us on Instagram and come to events and things like that. So we're able to get a lot there. And this year we've had a lot of people just ask questions about what music therapy is, or people come up to us and say, "Oh, I have received music therapy," or "My brother has," and so that's been cool. World Mental Health Day, we had a drum circle, where just like anyone who was walking around campus could come join. So that was awesome, and kind of similar with Day on the Quad. We just a lot of like table action, people coming to talk to us. We're gonna start doing high school visits soon, where we just go to high school classes, particularly like music classes, and talk about music therapy. and get some recruits for our program. Some upcoming events we have. This weekend we have the homecoming parade, which is just another thing where people will see who we are. We're gonna have a drum set and an electric guitar and a microphone in the back of a truck. We're gonna have a band playing, so that's pretty cool. We have a concert coming up called Muses, which P. Pickett, or Corinne, as you guys know her, is helping us reach out to other clubs and just like schools at Utah State, or the mini colleges, because it's mental health themed. So we're trying to get the English department involved and other places, and like the painters and all of them, to make like a kind of combined event. So that's on November 1st. So that'll be cool. And then the last event we have coming up, it's live band karaoke. It's just like another kind of outreach thing where people can get to know who we are and what we do. And that's one that a lot of people are interested in, and usually a lot of non-majors come to. And we just started having it on campus too. So a lot of people come, and through that event we often get lots of people on Instagram and just asking who we are and things like that. So yeah, lots of things, but it's been going good.
That sounds amazing. As USU alum, I love to hear it. Super great. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and turn the time over to our Vice President Emily for all of the juicy bylaw proposals.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so just real quick to approve the agenda that we've done half of already, now that we have a quorum. So thanks everybody for being here so that we can do this stuff. And you should have gotten an agenda for today, as well as minutes from last time's meeting in March, to look over and see if there were any things that you would want to add to the agenda today or to adjust with the meeting minutes. So we will do a quick approval of both of those really quick. With the agenda, is there anything that anybody wants to add or adjust? I don't hear anything, so we're going to go ahead and approve the agenda as it stands. And we'll do the same with our minutes, except I didn't put them on here, but that's fine. We'll go over that in just a sec. So with our minutes, if you're able to look over the minutes, we're not going to go over them right now because that'll take up too much time. So I hope that you've looked through the minutes. If anybody has anything to change, adjust with the minutes before they're like finalized, please speak now. All right, okay, so we'll go ahead and approve the minutes from last meeting then, and stick those in our file to make sure that we are keeping record of what's going on in our meetings. Just a quick overview of some protocols to make sure that we are all on the same page about how to conduct these meetings. For the amendment, for any amendment to the bylaws, we require our current bylaws require a 2/3 affirmative vote of the members present in order to make that adjustment. So we'll be looking to meet that 2/3 threshold. If you would like to make a motion to adjust anything that is being proposed, then you can do so by saying, I move that, for example, we were talking about something before we started the official meeting, that maybe there should be something written into the bylaws about specifying a communication with the members before a change is made. So that could be something that somebody makes a motion of by saying, I move that this communication should be written into the bylaws. We would wait for somebody to second that, and then we would allow any discussion, and we would take a vote on that movement. Are we all good and clear on that? I just like to go over those nitty-gritty rules because it's not that scary, I promise, but it's just kind of specific. The reason is we just want to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. So if there aren't any other comments, we'll go ahead and jump into the bylaw amendments. I'm going to bring us over here. so that I can make any changes proposed in the moment, or at least make note of them. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the first proposal. The purpose of this proposal is the reorganization of the executive board and standing committees. So this basically looks like the executive board would be composed of 8 elected officers. That would be the president, the vice president, secretary, treasurer, president-elect, vice president-elect, secretary-elect, and treasurer-elect. These would be the people that hold full voting privileges, and they are responsible for carrying out the governance, the planning, and the oversight of the association. Within this proposal, we are deleting all of this information, which goes over the specifications of some of the appointed positions that we have standing right now, such as webmaster, government relations chair, historian, the student liaison. All of these are proposed to be deleted from this section of the bylaw. Some of this information is put into other parts of the bylaws within the same proposal. This goes over the roles and responsibilities of the executive board. And I don't want to read all this, but I will if you want me to. I might just I'll just leave it here for a minute, and then we'll open it up for discussion if anybody has any questions about anything. So within this proposal, the term stays as a 2-year term, beginning January and concluding December of the following year. And what would happen is each officer's term would include a 1-year service as the officer-elect, followed by 1 year in the active officer role. Let's see. It specifies what would happen if there's a resignation or if somebody needs to step out of that position. We would be calling a special election. A special election needs to be conducted within 60 days of the vacancy. So we're just specifying some of that procedural stuff that would come if somebody needs to step out of that position. And we do require that you have to be a current UAMT member and you have to reside in Utah. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick out the most important things here. Okay, so then Article 5 discusses how committees, our standing committees, would be organized. The advocacy committee, as proposed, would be chaired by the president, and they would be responsible for the visibility, the recognition, and the impact of music therapy in Utah, to advance that, to monitor legislation relating to music therapy, relationships with policymakers and allied organizations, anything related to advocacy of the music therapy profession within the state would fall under that committee. The Professional Development Committee, as proposed, would be chaired by the Vice President, and this would largely be what is currently done by the Vice President in organizing the conferences and CMTE opportunities. The Membership Committee would be chaired by the Secretary and oversees all aspects of the membership, engagement, and retention. And the Operations Committee is chaired by the Treasurer and is responsible for the administrative, the financial, the technological functions, and the legal functions of managing the organization. There is a chance that additional committees can be and task forces can be created and resolved as needed within this section. So if there's a task or a project that comes up and we really want to create a committee around that, then we can do that, and it doesn't need to change anything in the bylaws. Let's see. Yeah, this is just about how we meet. We meet, you know, meet regularly. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna, as this is on the floor, I'm gonna open it up for discussion for any questions that anybody has about the content of this proposal.
Are you going to be discussing, as we talked a little bit before the meeting, about the different options as far as term length?
Yes,
Just part
yes,
of that.
thank you for bringing that up. I should have wrapped that into my discussion. I wanted to present it as it was written first, but then I meant to follow it up with some of the comments that have been made since. So thank you. So there, the concerns and the comments that have been made so far by some of our members about what's been written, what is written into this proposal, is the term length. If this is the structure of our board, then that means that we're going to be electing 4 people every year, like this. So that's a lot of people to be coming in and out. It also, oh, I forgot to talk specifically about this, but it's also written in here that the 4 officers would serve their entire term together, and then so both years they would be serving at the same time instead of rotating, which it was brought up that sometimes some presidencies are really, really strong, and then other times there's struggles within the dynamics of those presidencies. And so to be able to split up the presidencies and to what's the word? To stagger when they're coming in and out, like we do now, might be beneficial to maintain. So that's a consideration as well. It was proposed that we extend the term to 3 years. And Emma, can you pull up that thing that you did? I'll stop sharing for a sec, and Emma's going to share. So it was proposed that by one of the members that instead of having a 2-year term, that it be extended to a 3-year term, which is a good consideration. The thing to keep in mind with that is that it would kind of throw off the how many people are sitting on the board at a certain time if we have 3-year terms. So you can kind of see here. So here, Emma's showing the 2-year terms and how those would rotate. So on the bottom, you can see that we would be electing 4 people every single year in this model. And the 4 people that come in also exit together. So they are serving their entire term together. Okay, and let's look at the 3-year. So this adjusts how many people are elected every year to 2 on average, except for that off year with 2026. And the disadvantage here is that we don't have a consistent number of of individuals sitting on the board from year to year. And so in discussing this, Emma,
we
ahead.
can't hear you if you're saying something. Still can't hear you.
Yeah, go for it. Go over to the 4-year term and I'll explain that while you're figuring it out. So Emmett and I collaborated this morning and we decided, well, let's just feel out what it would look like if it were extended to a 4-year term. This would fix the issue of having the consistency of the number of board members from year to year. It would also fix the issue of feeling like we're just electing so many people every single year, and it would cut it down to 2, just like it is currently. So we'd be alternating, electing the president and treasurer versus the vice president and secretary, exactly as it's done currently. But though it would be extended to 4 years. So those are the 3 options that we've mapped out as far as term and exploring the different pros and cons to each of those. So with that, any more discussion on those options?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay. I do want to make a quick correction about the 3-year term. So technically, we would have the same amount of people. We would just have 7 on the board at any given time. I didn't make up a name for the student rep, but each color represents a different person. So we would technically have 7. And then if we did 4-year terms, we would have 9. So that is one correction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Another
And the elections are the same as well. So really the main difference for the 3-year terms is that we would not have the former board member stay on the board. So if you can see on the 4-year term, we have former president maintaining and former VP, if that makes sense. So the 3-year terms, we just would not have that former board member.
Mm-hmm. And with the 4-year term, we discussed that perhaps within that 4th year, that board member is not required to do anything beyond show up to board meetings and vote. Because I was concerned personally about asking that much from somebody because it just seems like a long term, 4 years. But considering that the 4th year would be strictly just showing up to board meetings and voting, and no other work would be asked of them within that role, that's part of what we have felt out for this model as well. I also should add that within the proposal as written currently, the student rep is not represented as a board member. However, it was also brought to our attention by one of our board members, our current board members, that it would be very, very valuable to maintain that, to keep the student representation within the board. So we put it here on this map as a way of filling out what that would look like and having 9 board members. And just know that it's not written into this proposal as it currently stands, but we wanted to bring it to the meeting to see if that's something that we wanted to work in, and maintain that student representation sitting on the UAMT board.
So that would be 2 different proposed amendments.
We can kind of work it into all right now, really.
Okay.
I put it into the agenda later, but we could really just, if somebody wants to make a movement specifically right now, to say, hey, I want to do that, I want to whatever, and we can just kind of work it all into what we have right now in this proposal. Does that make sense? Okay, any further discussion before we move to voting?
I think we just kind of have to land on between the 3-year term and then the 4-year term.
So here's where
whatever you guys feel, you make a motion, right?
Yeah, here's where we are. I said that and then I'm like, wait, back up, because if we move forward right now, then we would be putting into effect the proposal as written. So yeah, somebody needs to make a motion if you want anything to change beyond what's written.
This is Mandy. I make a motion for three years because 4 years seems excessive.
Mandy makes a motion for 3 years. Does anyone second?
I second that motion.
Emma seconds the motion. Any discussion on that?
I would like to make a motion.
We need to finish this first.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just
Thank
assumed
you.
a silence was a.
No, I'm waiting for any discussion. And Ashlyn, will you make sure that all of this is recorded into the meetings, into the minutes, recorded into the minutes? Thank you.
Can you just flip back over to the 3-year term so that we can look through that one more time before we
Yes.
decide anything official?
And maybe I can make it a little smaller. I didn't realize I wasn't showing the 2029, but this is kind of a 4-year view, including the 2025 board. So
So question.
Yes.
So those of you that have been serving, do you feel good about the 3-year versus the 4? Like your opinions are, I think, important, personal opinions, just for us that are voting.
Honestly, I feel like the 2 years kind of goes by quick. And so I don't think the 3 year would be much more. I do think the 4 year might be kind of a lot though.
yeah. That's my opinion as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of torn between the 3-year and the 4-year, honestly. The amount of work for 3 years feels great. It doesn't look as pretty on paper. That's really what it comes down to right now. For me, is the consistency of who's sitting on the board from year to year to year, and who's filling those positions. I also think that the 4th year wouldn't be that much of a commitment the way that we proposed it.
So to just put this into perspective a little bit, RAMTA does have it set up that past presidents serve for a certain amount of time, different than this. But what I have noticed in my short amount of time within RAMTA is that the past president is really integral into helping answer questions for the current president on things that have happened in the past. And there was some discussion about how we're already really good at reaching out to the past president in non-official ways. But I think it has been beneficial, again, in my short time on RAMTA, to see the past president serve in that way. Their only job is to come basically be present in meetings and answer questions. But I do see the benefit of having them stay one more year to help. So there's that perspective too.
Thanks, Crane.
Okay, any further? We are still on. Mandy made a movement to move ahead with the 3-year term, and Emma seconded it. Any last discussion on this if we want to move forward with the 3-year term before voting on this?
I suppose if it is the 4 year, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but could we make it sort of like Corinne was talking about, where the president kind of fades out the last year, or the different positions will kind of fade out their last year and still be there for help, but really not do a whole lot and pass
Yeah,
pass
that's
it on?
really what it would be.
I feel like it will kind of organically happen that way.
Yeah, the 4th year that's what it would
Mhm.
be. It would be very minimal. And yeah, it'd be
I
like
think
fading out.
after some discussion, I kind of feel like 4 years might be better for the
I agree.
association.
Yeah, having that discussion of the 4th year is helpful.
Yeah. Especially kind of a lot of the things that I've been experiencing as president now, and kind of like challenge with records and everything, just having a person that's been on the board for 4 years and that insight and that perspective could be really, really helpful.
So, not to throw another wrench in things, but this proposal, correct me if I'm wrong, is for every board member to serve for 4 years. Is that correct? Or is this only for president and vice president?
Every board member.
It's
So that's
yeah,
the
it's
other
for
beyond the student rep.
Not to throw another wrench in things. But it could be done that some of our, like the secretary could be on a 2-year term, and the president-elect, or the president would be a 4-year term and the vice president would be a 4-year term. But some of these others that could come and go a little bit more fluidly, where maybe the time expectation is really long for a secretary or a treasurer, but that consistency could be provided through the president and the vice president serving longer and having more fade in, fade out.
Mhm.
Personally, I think there's a ton of value of having the same secretary and the same treasurer, purely because like they're managing the operations and the membership, and those are things that have historically kind of slipped through the cracks and been a challenge for the association. And so I think that continuity of having those board members serving 4 terms would be really beneficial.
Yes, Anakia, I was just going to voice that it is 8 o'clock
Yes.
and we are at our time and we have some people that need to take off. Emma, what would you like to do at this point?
I would like to make a motion that we make an amendment for the 4-year term.
Would you like to propose that we continue or stop this meeting?
Continue.
Okay. If you
Until approximately 8:10.
Okay, so we are extending until 8:10. I am so sorry for those of you who need to hop off. We will miss you, and I'm sorry we didn't quite get to the voting. If any, yeah, I just feel bad.
I believe if anyone needs to leave, feel free. But I think we might
You need
still
to
be at a
close the motion
quorum.
on the floor to adjourn. Okay, thank you, Emily. Okay, so we do need to finish the motion on the floor to officially adjourn. Okay,
If
thank you.
people have to leave, are we going to still have quorum, or are we going to lose quorum?
I think we'll be okay if we have a couple taking off. Let me double check.
Mm-hmm.
We're at 28% right now. Will you speak if you, I know, Malu, I'm so sorry.
Hello, no worries.
Malu, thank you.
Yeah.
I
I'm
knew
just
how to
looking
say your
for-
name until I started to say it.
Oh, it's tricky. Think just like skip to Malou, and then you got it.
I love it.
But no, I'm just waiting for this call that will cut on my phone, so I will have to
Okay.
get, but I'm here until that phone call, so yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
I'll-
Let's
I'll
just
have
move
to
it quickly then.
myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Okay. I move to amend the proposal by changing to 4-year terms.
4-year terms.
I
As
second the
presented on
motion.
this.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Who was that?
That was
Marty.
Marty and
That was
Corinne.
Marty. Thank you.
I move to amend the proposal by making the student representative a member of the board.
I second it. This is Malou.
Perfect.
Pull these up.
All right.
Okay,
Any discussion?
Thank you. Will you stop sharing so I can pull?
Oh, Absolutely.
this up again. Okay, hearing no more comments, we're gonna move forward to voting. Actually, I don't think I need to pull that up right now. Okay, let's just go ahead and move forward with our voting. If you are in favor of the proposal as presented and amended, please indicate by raising your hand. And Ashlyn, will you please make sure that you're taking notes? 1, 2, 3.
Can that be done with the reaction button?
Yes, reaction
okay,
button
perfect. Thank
also
you.
is friendly.
That's my reaction. For whatever reason, I don't have the straight hand. So, yeah. Yay.
Okay, Ashlyn, do you have a number on us?
I believe we're at 11 in favor.
Okay, so we
11 in
have
favor.
4.
Okay.
Ben, are
Or-
you still with us?
You have 10.
All right. Any opposed to
Open.
the proposal? Oh, Ben, are you saying yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're good. Okay. Okay, hands down. Thank you. Any opposed to the proposal as presented and amended? All right, the proposal passes. And I am so glad that we did it. Yay.
This has been so much work, Emily. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Like,
thank you all.
our association owes a lot to you.
I move that we end this meeting after this and we address everything else on the agenda at a later date.
I second.
that motion.
Okay. Can we set a date for our follow-up? Even like a week from today, if we just meet like next week, Wednesday at 7, does that work for
Yeah,
us?
is this a business meeting or a board meeting?
This would be a follow-up business meeting to
Okay.
continue to do anything that we missed on the agenda, which is what? Oh, the other proposals. There are 2 other whole proposals that we didn't even touch.
All
So
right.
yes.
Okay, I second that motion.
Okay, next week at 7 o'clock, we'll be holding a follow-up business meeting to continue the agenda.
Beautiful. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.